Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is an end of the month for the month of January tarot oracle reading. And Gemini, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not in Gemini, we still all have a little bit of Gemini in us. If you have your birth chart with house is Gemini in, that's where this will show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a general or collective reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. And this is also a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it right now, it's the perfect time for you. If it's been some time since I posted this, take a look at what was going on in your life back then, and that may give you some further insight on your situation. We have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is the perfect card for these times right now. The King of Cups is sitting on this concrete slab on his throne, all out in the middle of this rough water here. And so this rough water represents, oh, here comes my cat Stella to help with the reading. Okay, you can be on my lap, be a good girl. You go to sleep. Yeah, you go to sleep. Her job is to purr. Sorry. She was sound asleep in the other room, but she always wakes up for the readings and she has to be here and help. So the King of Cups is sitting on his throne here, and in this rough water represents the energy of really volatile emotions and actions happening. So the energy is like percolating. But he's really calm. He's sitting out on his throne there. He has a cup of love in his hand. Now, this cup could be a romantic cup of love, which it quite often is, but it can also speak about something that you love to do or love to be or love to go, that kind of energy. And you notice his right foot is forward and he's ready to get up in a moment's notice, but he's not stressed out in any way. He has mastered the art of dealing with his emotions. And because of that, he's the most emotionally available king of the four kings in the minor arcana. And so this is the underlying energy for the entire reading. The suggestion is, contain your emotions as much as possible. We have a full moon coming up at the end of, pretty much right at the end of the month on February 1st. And that full moon will be in Leo. And full moons are a good time for releasing, but they also have a tendency to make people feeling a little bit more volatile in their emotions. We have for the underlying energy for the internal forces. Internal forces are forces that you internalize, and you are the one who has control over them. And that's going to be the bottom part of this reading here. The internal forces are when you're asking yourself, if I do this, what if that happens? And if I do that, what if this happens? And so it can keep you up at night wondering, worrying about what to do, which direction to go in. And so this can feel like a never-ending nightmare. And so that's what this card represents. Or it could be like suffocating boredom, where you're just tired of the same old, day after day, it's the same old shift. And this also can represent enlightenment in the wee hours of the morning from the Most High through the Holy Spirit. So we will see which of those it is as we get along in this reading. We have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is coming in with some form of communication, and he has he represents the element of the wands, and those wands are made of wood. His element is fire. So wood feeds fire, and that is like from a tree. And when the tree itself has roots, and those represent the deep roots of the ancestors, and then also the offshoots represent descendants. So this is talking about someone who works for the king and the queen. And generally, they would work for the king and the queen around the age of 7 to 14. And they would come from probably some family that in the area around there that was higher society. And they would do small tasks within the court and deliver messages, etc. And then if they were really good at what they did and they could afford a horse when they were 21, they could be considered for knighthood. And but this energy, of course, the communication was all by foot at that time. But now we could get information coming in from an email. It could be from a text message, a phone call, a letter in the mail, something you see in a social media post, even the news, whatever's happening in the news around the world, especially with a general collective reading like this, it as above, so below. So the people that are in charge at the top, the problems they're having generally reflect down to the people that are, more on average everyday life energy. And so this Page of Wands is delivering a message about something that they're passionate about, and he's got a feather in his cap. He really likes knowledge for the sake of knowledge. That's what the mysteries of the pyramids here are showing, that his love of knowledge. So let's see. There's some sort of communication coming in. Now you could be the King of Cups, or, and the King of Cups, he doesn't look stressed out, so I don't feel like this is the King of Cups here. We'll see here. All right, we've got the Six of Cups now. And so the Six of Cups represents the energy of reconciliation. So to have reconciliation, the first step would be forgiveness. Forgiveness paves the way to reconciliation. Having said that, when you forgive someone, it's actually more for yourself than it is to forgive them. It allows you to move forward and release that energy, so you're no longer being burdened by it. And the forgiveness, though, doesn't mean that you condone the action, or it also doesn't mean that you necessarily want to hang out with them ever again, or even talk to them to say, I forgive you. Just you do it for yourself, so that you can open your heart back up and be vulnerable again. And this is talking about, reconciliation and sometimes reuniting. So it could be someone, because of the cups here, it could be someone from the past that you want to reconcile with, or they want to reconcile with you. And maybe you've been concerned about them or something, that kind of energy. This card is a bit of a card of an illusion, though, because when you first look at it, you think, oh, there's kids playing here. And then you realize those aren't children. That's a gnome, and that's a little lady. And when you look at her face, is that a young woman or is that a hag? It depends on how you look at her. And then she's wearing a white mitt, so that indicates she doesn't really want to get her hands dirty. And all the white flowers here, they represent innocence as well. The watchman looking over the children in the background there is actually not. He's walking away. So he's not, and they're not children anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's the kind of energy. And so this card is a bit of an illusion, and that's what, reconciliation from the past, with past people, in particular lovers. People have a tendency to show you who they are the first time. So you have to be really careful if you're reconciling with someone, that's the energy that you would like to be in. So let's see what else is going on here. We have the Page of Swords coming in. So there's some sort of message coming in about passion. And the Page of Swords, it's the same deal as with the Page of Wands, only this is his element. He's got the sword. The sword represents your mental intelligence, your the control you have over your mind, how disciplined is your mind. This card often reminds me of someone who's golfing. And golfing is actually a very mental sport. And that's why you'll find that a lot of people that are higher up, businessmen and that, they love to go golfing. For one thing, it's beautiful. I mean, you're out in these beautiful golf courses, and it's a beautiful day. It's awesome to be out there. Having said that, though, you can tell a lot about someone, how they deal with pressure, by their golf game. And because golf is a mental sport, you have to be able to control your emotions to be able to get to be able to have a good game. And the energy isn't that you're competing with the people around you. You're actually competing with the last best score that you had on that course. And or if it's a different course on, in your last game you played. And so this energy is talking about the fact that he has good control over his mind already. He's looking away, and that it's showing he recognizes that there's not just one thought. This is a double-edged sword, but he realizes that there's many different solutions to a problem. In the background, you can see this little flock of birds, and it's like just representing, hey, those are all the thoughts that he has about this, so whatever the information is, this can sometimes represent an investigation of some sort, or some information coming in about paperwork or contracts or something like that. So we will see here. It could also be like a scholarship coming in, that kind of energy. We have the Hermit. So the Hermit is generally, it's representing someone who's been through the dark night of the soul, like this. Something that's been a nightmare that's never ending, and they are having a hard time dealing with it. So the Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain to be able to isolate himself, and so he can go inward and meditate and pray and get some guidance from God. And then when he gets the enlightenment, that's what this lamp represents. That represents his North Star in that lantern. Your North Star is representative of following your destined path for the why you came down to Earth. And we do have, when that enlightenment comes, you notice his rod turns like golden. And that's showing, hey, he's ready to take action now with whatever he learned while he was up on the mountain. It's time to come down and put whatever he learned into action. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is talking about a strong foundation for finances, but it's also a card showing the 3 different degrees of making money. There's safe money, and then there's going after your heart's desires, and then your crowning glory. And so this card can sometimes represent someone that has been playing it safe, like not wanting to take a risk. And this energy, he has his back to this city. And so that can represent, someone who hasn't left his hometown yet, and it's time to leave their hometown. It's time to reach out and do something different, and possibly, expand your horizons if you're from a town into the city, or it could be into another province or state, or even a country, that kind of energy. It's representing, don't play it small and don't sell yourself short. You need to sometimes take some risks, if you, well-calculated risks, to be able to get ahead, to make more money. Like this is a strong start, but it's, 4 Pentacles, there's 10 in the deck. So it's a beginning though, it's a foundation. And then we have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is representing someone sometimes who has a closed mind, and they can only see 2 ways of handling something. It's either this way or that way, my way or the highway, that kind of energy. And so this is talking about not being able to see any solutions but the 2 that are presented in their mind. And they don't recognize that, there's all sorts of solutions out there. They could take this blindfold off and then they'd be able to see. And you notice that they do have their arms crossed over their heart, which is talking about they're not really following their intuition and their heart's desires. They also, in body language, they're sitting with their feet turned out here, and that represents that their thoughts are really weakening their energy. So they're leaking energy instead of pulling it in. Sometimes this can represent someone who recognizes that they need to go inward and meditate to be able to use their third eye instead of their eyes, their eyes. And so this new moon here, we have a new moon tonight, and it is in Capricorn. And so the Capricorn energy is talking about moving forward. The glyph for the Capricorn energy is the mountain goat, and the mountain goat has a dolphin tail. So the energy of Capricorn, it's the most mature of the pentacle signs. So it's someone that really understands how to build, shift, and take thoughts and bring these thoughts down to earth, so that innovative ideas, thinking outside the box, and this is representing this energy. And this is representing like the opposite, where you can't really find a solution, like this energy here. So being sort of trapped in your mind and over again, having the same thoughts, but they're not productive. Whereas here, he's looking away and going, okay, what else can I come up with here? And so that's the energy. Let's check this out here. We have your this is how you identify with yourself right now, that you feel passionate, youthful. Doesn't matter what age you're at, it's more of an energy. And this is about abundance and self-worth. So on some level, there's maybe someone that you do want to reconcile with or have forgiveness with, or you would just like to see again. This can just talk about reuniting. Sometimes this can talk about reconciling something within yourself, like if you're in this energy here. And then we have the communication from your early life. And yes, this is probably someone who's very well educated, from higher society, because he's a page, and has learned how to think for himself and also how to be innovative in his thinking. And again, has the discipline over his mind, so that he can find creative solutions rather than being stuck like this. And then we have the hermit, and the hermit is talking about your emotional foundation, like from your first family. So it could be that there were some things that happened in your when you were growing up that were challenging for you to be able to handle. And perhaps that's why I was wondering with this reconciliation here. It's kind of, this could represent trying to reconcile what happened when you were a child. People talk about your inner child, and it's about reparenting that inner child so that you can let go of anything that's holding you back from manifesting, and having like negative emotions and getting caught up in those. I'm also like, this card here is about your romance and your children and creativity, but I feel like maybe your creativity when you were younger, it wasn't encouraged so much. It was kind of like, that's like quit that nonsense. Let's get to work here kind of energy. And so being cut off is the kind of energy, like having your creativity cut off. And so it's a little bit more challenging for you to be able to, use that part of your mind, your imagination, your intuition, etc. You've been taught to use just your logic. And so that's something that you might want to work on. Because Gemini has like two sides. A lot of times Gemini, people will say you're like two people. And I feel like that a lot, it's because of this double-edged sword, because you're an air sign, and it's about your thoughts. And it's about, being at the age of kindergarten when you first go to school. And let's face it, a lot of times what we're taught in school is not necessarily that helpful, really, in some ways. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. And so this card here is representing your daily routine, your habits, and how that affects your health. So I feel like, having this energy, it was kind of turned around, but it should be like this kind of energy. When you have a closed mind like that and you can't see the answers, it does put you in this type of energy. And sometimes a change of scenery, and that's why I feel this card is coming up. Sometimes a change of scenery can stimulate, oh, okay, now like I see, I see other opportunities. I see how other people different from me, like that's why traveling is such an amazing education, because when you start to learn from other cultures and you realize that, oh, there's more than just the way we do it at home kind of energy. And for the underlying energy for here, we have the Lovers. So this is external forces coming in. The external forces are when you're laying in bed at night and you're going, what the EF happened? And that's external forces. External forces happened. You don't have control over the people, what they say and they do. And, you don't have control over what your lover does, 99% of the time. And the energy is talking about, are you going to respond to it, or are you going to react to it, what other people do? And external forces when they come in. So the Lovers represents a connection, of course, between two people. And again, we have this reconciliation here. This could be someone that you never dated. Like this can go represent someone that you maybe went to high school with or whatever. Perhaps you were home for the holidays and you hadn't been home for a while, and you ran into someone that you hadn't seen since elementary school or something, and you really got along, and you want to, you're feeling, hey, I kind of would really like to ask that person out. And so this is talking about getting to know someone better. The cloud in between the Lovers represents that you don't really know each other that well yet. Get to know each other before you, dive all the way in there. And then we have the Three of Cups coming in. So the Three of Cups is a celebration, and they definitely are celebrating something. It's not my favorite card, because when I look at this card, I notice that none of them are looking at each other. They're looking at the cups. So they're not really celebrating each other. They're celebrating something that happened, or some event or something like that. And the thing is about the cups, they represent love. And in a lot of cultures, especially in Europe, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, it's 7 years bad luck in your love life. So it's kind of like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. But I don't feel that they are really celebrating with each other at all. They're celebrating something that happened. And quite often it represents gossip, slander, that kind of energy, Not always, but let's see. Let's give them a chance there. It's just that it's around the moon, the full moon at the end of the month. That's when, the low-flying energy likes to come out. So we have the 10 of Wands now. And so the 10 of Wands is representing carrying heavy burden. Now, this card represents like someone who has planted seeds and they're harvesting those seeds. They've now grown into these wands, and they might just be heavy with fruit, and that's why it's so heavy for this person to carry. And the way he's carrying it, he can't see. So he can't see that he's almost there, and he looks exhausted. It's like so much work to do it. And so this sometimes says there might be a better way that's less challenging than this. Like perhaps you have, you could put half of them down and come back for half, that kind of energy. But this is also talking about, these are the actions that you've taken and that other people have taken or not taken. And this energy can sometimes mean that you're carrying burdens for other people. Like it's heavy either way. So the good news is if it's a heavy harvest, it's heavy because it's full of a crop. And so it's, hard to get home. It may have been a lot of work to grow it and to get it home, but like now it's going to be of value for you. And then we have the Ace of Wands here. And so the Ace of Wands is a passion for discovery. So that's this energy here. I feel like healing from this energy, and perhaps you have I don't know if you have a lover, some of you are not, but maybe you're looking for some love. There's a lot of love out there in the readings right in the last little while here, in the last couple weeks. It's kind of almost like the whole world wants more love. And why not? Oh, but then this is why not. The devil's coming out. Okay, so the devil is representing temptation. And so you have two lovers here, and then you have the devil. Now this is the commitment and marriage and partnerships. And so that's kind of weird, because why are three people celebrating a marriage, and a partnership in marriage, a commitment in marriage? And then we have, it doesn't have to be, but generally, especially with cups of love, that would be what it is. And then we have, this is about a transformation happening, a major transformation, and it's about shared assets. So it's almost like someone's doing all the work, and, it's not even their partner that's getting unless their partner is one of these people, that's celebrating with other people while he's away at work, which is not very fair. So it's something to do with that. And then we have higher learning. So it's a passion for discovery of higher learning. Stella, be a good girl. What are you? She's been so noisy all day. My cat, I was on the phone because my website was having challenges, and my cat, I heard this big boom, and the woman on the other end of the phone was like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know, the cat knocked something over. So she knocked over the basket that I had with my toilet paper in the bathroom that was on a stool. And there was water in the tub because I had been cleaning, and there was some, I had cleaning detergent and water in there. So she fell in. I didn't know this because I was in the kitchen on the phone talking about my website. And then she came flying out of the bathroom, and you hear this big crash. And then she's runs under the coffee table, and I have a large crystal the size of a bowling ball. And luckily it's just on about an inch high stand. She knocks that off the stand, and it starts rolling towards her. So she starts panicking, and she goes running down the hallway. And then I literally thought she got so scared she peed herself, because there's water everywhere, which is when I realized, oh, she fell in the tub. So she's mad at me right now, because every time I look at her, I just laugh. It reminded me of that board game Mousetrap, where one catastrophe after another happens. And it was just and the poor woman on the other end of the phone is like, what is going on? And I'm like, you can't even believe what my cat just did. She pretty much destroyed, there was shift everywhere, because she panicked. And she's been kind of mad at me, because she's looking at me now and glaring at me because I'm laughing at her. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. So this energy here, let's get back to the reading. But it was so funny. I every time I think about it, I start to laugh, because it just was like, what the hell is happening? And the poor woman on the other end just was like, oh my God, are you okay? It's like, what happened? It was just it sounded like someone had gone through here with a, with a plow or something. But anyway, we'll get back to the reading and the devil energy. So the devil is about temptation. And so this temptation is coming in. Now, I'm not sure, you have a happiness for a passion for new discovery. And here, again, it is. We're talking about that passion. So you might have seen someone again that, and had a thought, maybe went and meditated on it and thought maybe we should go out on a date or something. But I'm not getting the gist of this energy, because there's just too much happening here that's not really saying very much. We've got two communications coming in, one about thoughts and one about passion. We do have the reconciliation or reunion, having to meditate, being really upset about something. We've got the king who's chilling out in the middle of the water there. We've got these people celebrating something, but we don't know what it is. And a foundation for money, and all of a sudden the lovers come in, and that's external forces. So I'm just there's a lot happening here. There's a harvest coming in, or heavy burdens to carry. That is coming from the external forces, though. So someone is bothered maybe by your passion for discovery. That could be it. That could be part of it. Let's see. When this temptation devil energy comes in, you notice how similar, like we've got the couple here. So it's kind of talking about someone possibly of these two lovers was tempted, or they were tempted to do something together. It's kind of interesting energy. This is external forces, so I don't feel this is you. I feel this is maybe another couple. Could it be that there's an energy of infidelity here, of temptation, and it could be possibly one of these people here was involved in it, something like that. I don't know. We'll see here. So I always cover the devil, because you're not going to get the truth from him. And see, the devil has to send someone in, because he's an archetype. So he has to send a minion in to do his dirty work for him, or God will send in something. And look at that. So is that what these people were celebrating, the burdens they've caused you, Gemini? And this is God letting you know. When you went up to the mountain. Interesting. Okay, so I feel like there's some sort of 3 people where there should be 2. And this is external forces. This is in the position of your marriage. And I said, why are these 3 people celebrating your marriage? I don't understand that. So that's that energy, 7 years bad luck in your love life kind of energy. So this is talking about, well, it pretty much speaks for itself, but you've been backstabbed 10 times, and you're left there, like laying there on the ground as if you're unalive. So if that's the person from here, you definitely don't want to reconcile with them. We're going to have to clarify this. We have the energy here of the High Priestess. Yes, this is going to require some intuitive energy here. So she's sitting in between the 2 pillars here, one representing evil, one representing good. And she is using her intuition to understand what to do, what's the next move to make. And if you can get neutral to the 2 extremes, then you can get neutral in between, and then take some sort of action. So let's see here. It's saying, and then there's a reward of pentacles. If you do, if that's how you handle this energy, I feel that. So this is your marriage and commitment, and this is about some sort of transformation happening, shared assets, and then this is about the higher learning. So having a desire to learn more about what happened. Passion here. This passion could represent wanting to know if your partner maybe was having an affair, because it's about passion, and this is the passion for discovery about it. What left you in this energy? You see that? That's the energy. So I do feel, okay, for sure, that this was it's a situation that you've been in, that you've been having a lot of trying to decide what to do here. And you notice here, there's it's the 2 swords and you here, and there's the 3 of them there. Yeah, but this I do feel, this card represents the never-ending nightmare and the worry and the concern and all of that, but it also represents someone who may have received enlightenment in the wee hours, usually that's between 2 and 4 in the morning. And it can sometimes be in the form of a dream, and you might be trying to remember, because quite often those dreams are very real, and you'll get steps of action. I've been having a lot of dreams lately, that are very, I remember them very clearly. And like just snippets of them. And every time, like if I have another one, it'll be like a continuation of that dream. And it'll be like, why are those people in my dream? I haven't seen those people in years. And it's that kind of energy. And I feel like that's what's happening here. You've received enlightenment about being stabbed in the back by these people. I don't know if you're aware if you've been stabbed in the back by them, but you are aware you've been stabbed in the back, because this is not a comfortable position to be in. Having said that, his hand is in the form of a blessing, and this is also the Hierophant, who's in charge of bringing justice down to earth kind of energy. The traditional structures of justice has his right hand in the form of a blessing like that. So sometimes this energy here is talking about a blessing in disguise, and this is about your career, your reputation. So someone tried to ruin your reputation. And, I don't know if you're a public figure, but it's like they did it. It could mean that they did it online as well, like on your social media pages. Sometimes people who don't have anything better to do will pretend to be you on social media, and they'll create all these fake pages. And then I had my identity stolen, and back in 2020, and they went so far as to say that I had died to clients of mine in Europe. And, others, they would just pretend they were me and do stupid things. And it was like supposedly me doing these things. And it took a lot of cleaning up, I'm telling you. It was a lot of work to clean up. And it's not a joke. If people think that's funny, it's far from funny. And it's also, when they go to this extent, it's criminal. And that's the energy here. And then we have blessings coming in from the external forces. I feel this is going to be cleaned up. I feel that you might not have it yet, but you might be sitting here, and this could represent you trying to keep your thoughts at bay so that you can sit here in this energy. In the new moon, what better way than to the new moon's tonight, and the energy is like, I think it's the 18th today. Is it the 18th already? It might be tonight, or like when I post. I'm posting this right away. I fell a little bit behind because my website was having issues that I had to deal with. And then we have in this spot here spirituality and secrets. So that are coming out. And this is a reward for following your North Star. And this light in the Hermit's lantern represents your North Star. So I feel like this is saying you did receive the information that you need here. And I feel that there definitely could be a King of Cups in the mix here. And that's separate from this. But this is kind of the energy. I don't feel that the King of Cups is involved in this energy, because this is for the whole reading. And this is confirming that the universe is rewarding you with this big pentacle, which is about health, wealth, happiness, and abundance in the 3D, for staying on your path and for going inward and calculating, okay, what's going on here? And you're ready to put other people's burdens down. You're done with it. And this gift of the passion for discovery was about what they did here. And that information is coming out. We've had an interesting couple days here just in Canada in the news from way back when there was the Emergency Act was called, and now the Supreme Court is saying that no, it was not a legal thing for them to call the Emergency Act. So there's justice coming in. Like, that was 6 years ago, right? So there's justice coming in. Sometimes it takes a long time for the energy to leave the spiritual realm and come down. But I did a reading for this morning. I posted it. And it's regarding that there's a lot of truth coming in right now. Like, you can see it all over the news everywhere. different countries, what's going on with different countries, and big changes happening. And there's a lot of cases that have been like cold cases being solved suddenly, that kind of energy. And that's the underlying energy right now. So it's kind of, I'm confident, Gemini, that you will be able to resolve this. I feel like it's actually it's already being resolved on the spiritual end. It's about it coming down to earth now, and you having the information you need to proceed. We'll clarify this. If you're enjoying this, please do give it a like and comment. And that really helps me build my channel, and I really appreciate it. I'm using Tales from the Vector, my oracle, TAILS. And I started this back in 2007, and then in 2020, I completed all the 64 paintings, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm an artist, but they were big dragon paintings. It's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light, and they're dragons from the future, not the old style dragons. And then I will put in the description box below the numbers that are on these cards in the order they appear here. I have a website, and it's up and running again now. It was only down for 9 minutes, but I had to check and see, check and see why, so that I can make sure it doesn't happen again, or that it wasn't hacked or something. So, but I just checked an hour ago, and at the time of this reading, and it's back up. So the numbers on the cards represent the numbers and the paintings in the gallery. So you can take a look at that if you want, and see if you can get a little more clarity on your situation here. Oh, we're almost ready here. I'm just tuning into this energy with these cards, because I want to clarify. I want to see if we can get just a little more. Oh, there we have it. Okay, this is what wants to come out. So to clarify it, it's, yes, the death card. So that's about transition. I'm actually happy to see that. This doesn't mean, very rarely would it mean actual death. It means like a transition from what was into what will be. And so this is good energy for you. You want clarity on this, and then you want it to be resolved, so you're not in this energy anymore. And then we have, to clarify that energy, we have father figures. So this can sometimes represent, like if you're a female, having like, and you're looking for love, that you sometimes are going after like father figures, either because you love your father so much and you want someone just like him, or you want the total opposite, or you didn't have the attention that you needed when you were younger. And this is that kind of isolation energy that I was picking up earlier. So this is talking about healing that inner child, like I said, the reconciliation. And the number one father figure is God. So, you always have that. And this quilt here has cosmic symbols on it, is saying that the universe has you covered. And then we have pride. Okay, so this is one of the karmic spaces. This is talking about someone falling into the karmic space of pride, which is, they say pride before the fall. So it's kind of like it's kind of like an all or nothing attitude. Like either your house is spotlessly clean or it's a total mess, that kind of energy. Like kind of like this, but kind of if someone isn't feeling like they're proud of what they have or what they do, then they'll sort of fake it till they make it kind of energy. So it's kind of like, so sometimes when people lack confidence, they have a tendency to come off as being arrogant, because they're trying to boast about what's going on. And so it's that kind of energy. And that's then the jealousy. Okay. So there was some jealousy here. I don't know if that's you, and if there was, it was probably because you could feel like this energy. There's something not right here as far as your partner. Like, I don't understand still, why are these three people celebrating whatever, in your marriage and commitment position. So that could be them that's jealous, actually. And then we have the Taurus energy coming in. So this is about learning the give and take in life. This card's been coming in a lot. It's representing, like, it's the it goes Aries, and then it goes Taurus, and then Gemini. And so this is the toddler energy, and this is when, toddlers don't like to share. And so it's talking about like maybe giving too much or taking too much, like, and it's about learning the art of how much you should invest in other people and how much you should keep for yourself, and that kind of energy. So having that discernment. And I feel like this is saying you've had to learn quite a bit about discernment here because of this situation. Yeah, there's been blind spots. There's a scotoma is a blind spot in your eye that, like, the pixels aren't quite lining up. So it's really hard to notice, because generally, unless it's like right on the pupil of the eye or whatever, because it's like on the outskirts of your vision. So it's kind of like you don't really see it. And sometimes this can represent something that you cannot see but others can see, or something you see and others can't see. So a lot of times people will say, why is she with that person, or why is he with that person? And it's because they can't see what you see in that person, that kind of energy. Or sometimes when someone is being unfaithful, it'll be like you're the last person to know. Everybody knew but you, or that's what it feels like, that kind of energy. And then we have the Empress coming in here. And so this is talking about all four queens rolled into one. This is a very, impressive individual. And really, this is in your creativity, romance, and children. Now remember, these are archetypes, so the Empress could be a male in their feminine energy. So I feel like you maybe have been selling yourself short. You don't see what high quality you are. And maybe this King of Cups has been sitting in the background and watching what's going on and going, why is she with that person? I can't wait till they split up. And because the Lovers is sitting right next to him. And then this other lover's gone. They decided, to sabotage you and leave you like this. But I feel like maybe this King of Cups is just waiting until the time is right to ask you out. That's what I feel is possibly coming in. That'd be cool. I mean, when you're ready, I think you're ready. I think you might, the King of Cups is the most emotionally available, and they're steady, There's someone that you can count on generally. And, they're not all dramatic and, like this. I was just going to say. So this is talking about when you get to the point where you're with someone and you don't know whether to fight with them anymore. You don't know, like, you just want to run, or you just freeze like this and you just don't know what to do. Like, it's just like, I don't even know what to do anymore. And so then this is talking about the Chariot. Yeah, I'm thinking this might belong here, like this. That energy. That this energy is ending, and the King of Cups is going to be part of that transition. Now let's see what's on top of these three. Anger. The gift that keeps on giving. Yeah. I feel like you might be, like, if you're in this Empress energy, you might be very beautiful and talented and, intelligent and kind, and, you are independent and you make your own money. And I think you're like the Empress is someone who's a really, really good catch. And maybe you're humble and you just don't see that about yourself. But I feel like this King of Cups does. And yeah, look at this falling star, unfettered. That's interesting because that's sitting in your position of a death, see, of the old relationship here. So I don't know. This is past, present, and future. I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like there is someone waiting in the wings, just thinking you're so beautiful. You're just like totally someone that they want to take out, and you maybe aren't even aware of it. And if you're from a smaller town, they probably do know if someone's been cheating, and they like to gossip, right? And so I feel like this kind of energy is like about just being jealous, you know. People don't talk about boring people though, so they don't have anything to talk about otherwise. And so this is the Aries energy, about being or doing, and this is, I feel like this is a gift from the divine. This information that came in is from you meditating, and then the universe came through for you and is saying, hey, you deserve to know what's really going on here. And this is about being able then to be vulnerable and open up your heart chakra again. This could have happened. You might already have had that part happen, but the king hasn't showed up yet because he doesn't feel like you're ready yet. But I feel like he's waiting, to ask you out. And then we have the lack of awareness here. So never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. So sometimes we're in these situations and we know, but we don't know. And it's also like if you have a bunch of people that know about it and they don't tell you, and you thought they were friends of yours, and you say things to them like, I wonder if he's cheating on me. And they say, oh, no, he would never do that. We've never seen anything like that. But they know full well that he has. And maybe it's even with one of them, right? So that's the energy I'm picking up. And then we've got the star. So this is talking about you were born to shine, using your intuition to make sure that you do shine. Like it's talking about that. Remember that light? I said it's the light in the lantern represents the North Star, and here's the reward for following your North Star. So this is saying just keep doing what you're doing, meditate, and pay attention to your dreams right now. I've been doing that. Like I said, it's just been, sometimes dreams I don't remember them that much, but this last few days I wake up and I go write it down. And so if you're in a position where you're wanting to remember your dream, it's a good idea. Like if you're like you wake up and you're like, okay, I had that dream and I want to remember it, don't move, because as soon as you physically move, then it makes it more challenging to remember the dream. And then for the final card here, we have worldly and otherworldly desires, and this is about your spirituality. So this is about you giving yourself permission. This is the reward, having the abundance, the health, the wealth, the happiness, giving yourself permission to go after your authentic desires. And so not staying in a situation like this that's not benefiting you. Yeah, you were meant to shine. You were meant to have all this, wonderful energy here that God is sending you. This is really, I mean, I really feel like you might even be through most of this as it is anyway. And maybe that's why you're watching it now, is because the King of Cups is maybe getting ready, and you're kind of like, if you've been treated like that, and especially if it's been by a lover, it's kind of hard to open your heart back up and trust someone again to even go on a date. But I'm getting that you deserve it. And, eventually you got to get back on the saddle, right? So I hope you have enjoyed this reading. Please do like and comment if you have. It really does empower me. And if you enjoy the energy of the channel, consider subscribing. It would be an honor for me if you did so. I will be back with another reading for you, and it will be for the beginning of February. Bye for now.